Ladies and gentlemen, your anchor for Generation X, please welcome Christian Finnegan!
Thank you, Matthew, and thanks for growing out your 90s hair just for tonight. Just to rebut a couple of things before I get into to my piece. Ronnie, you know, dope. Who the fuck do you think gave you dope? Please. That's our word that you absconded with. Let's see. Oh yeah, and you're right. There's so many reboots. You know, Full House. You know, The Daily Show. No, listen, I get it. So, you know, we're under the gun here. I understand. It's like the deck has been stacked against us. 3 white people versus a fucking Benetton ad. I get it. That's a Gen X reference. I mean, 2 of you have very cool hair. No offense, Ronnie. And, you know, you're doing a pretty good job so far. But listen, it's not hard. It's not easy being us right now. Of course, you know, you guys have the benefit of all the people coming out to shows are in your generation. People in my generation, they're not here. They're home taking care of their children and preparing for a job tomorrow and watching Survivor, just like you suggested. It's Wednesday. But that's okay, man. That's all right. See, that's a great thing about being Gen X on a night like tonight, because we don't expect to win. It is part of our generational impulse to lose. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? Okay, that was a cheap shot. That is music that I paid for. I paid for the art that I consume. Listen, we're the first generation to resist the notion of being a generation altogether. That's why we're always left out of the conversation. It's always like, oh, the boomers versus the millennials. Like, we just don't fucking exist. And I get it. We asked for that. We'll inherit the world, but we don't want it. Paul Westerberg, another album I purchased with money. The Replacements, wearing the t-shirt, fuckfaces. Listen, and I'm not even upset about it. You guys have done a great job tearing us down, but I'm not even mad because, you know, in spite of my rage, I'm still just okay. You get the idea. Fuck that guy. But anyway, listen, I don't blame you guys for your naivete. I understand that every generation is a response to the generation that preceded it, and for my generation, it was all about being authentic and having sort of like standing up to corporations. And you guys were like, yeah, not for us. We love corporations. That's what millennials say. The more the better. Oh yes. We all have to have our personal brands. You all would have been the villains in 90s movies, by the way. Just all sucking up to corporations and branding yourselves. This is the generation that created the term influencers. That's like an actual job title. You know that, right? Oh, I'm Christian Finnegan, influencer. I think we won the debate right there. You all think you're so cool because you're not on Facebook and you're on Instagram, as if Instagram isn't owned by Facebook. You guys are like when the chain restaurant creates like the hipster cool brand. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you guys are like the Killian's Red of generations. Owned by Coors, look it up. And by the way, you ruined the internet. You absolutely ruined the internet. I was in the age of like Homestar Runner and sort of fun stuff like that. And we're the generation that created Lollapalooza, your Fire Festival. And romance has just come so easy to you. You guys just swipe right. You don't know the hours spent in an AOL chat room. 3 hours of trying to find romance armed with only the question, age, sex, location. You don't know. And by the way, a lot of times I hear people mocking AOL. You know who still has an AOL email address? I do. And you know what? It's better. It's fucking better, okay? I have a Gmail address too. I had to get a Gmail address because I was applying for, I was trying to get a writing gig once, and then my connection there was like, hey, do you have a different email address? Because you're probably not going to get the job if you have AOL. It's an email platform, not a list of registered sex offenders. It's literally a way to convey words over the internet. What kind of weirdo would have a problem? It's like getting mad at the kind of tray your waiter uses to bring over the food. Look, I'm not trying to rage against the machine. I'm fine with the machine. It's underrated, the machine. But I like to be on AOL because I like to diversify my servitude. You guys just buy in to just a couple corporations. Everything you do is owned by Mark Zuckerberg, who you somehow think is on your side because he's wearing a fucking hoodie. Diversify your apathy. And listen, you guys, I think you've done a fine job, and I do not want to call you out. And I think at the end of the day, whether you're a millennial or you're a Gen X person, I think we can all agree that the real enemy is the baby boomers. Go Gen X 2018.